大家好, it's me, Richly, a self-learner of English from China. I always say this at the beginning of my videos. It's actually a disclaimer because I'm worried that my clumsy English might cause some misunderstandings. But I have received some comments saying that my English level is good enough to teach others, and some even ask me to teach Chinese. Well, I know they're exaggerating, and I don't feel qualified to teach anyone a language. I'm still happy because it means that my persistence and effort have not been in vain, and my learning methods are working. So although I can't be a real teacher, I can still share my thoughts and methods on self-learning skills, how to stay persistent, to inspire others. Of course, I'm aware that I'm not fully qualified in this field too, and there are many people out there who have already made similar content, and they are more professional than me. However, based on my self-learning experience, those overly professional methods often require a certain threshold, which might not be suitable for someone like me, an ordinary worker who lacks both time and money. Also, they often exaggerate things like speak English fluently in 10 days, memorize 1,000 words in a day, play Mozart in a week, or become a millionaire in a month. When I once wanted to take the IELTS exam, I lacked confidence and thought self-study wouldn't be enough. So I searched for related content online. Many people claimed to have scored of 6 or 9 from self-study, but in reality, most of them were English majors or grew up in English-speaking countries. English was even their native language. This was of no reference value to me, and it made me feel even more insecure. Later, I thought maybe there are others who have done it, but they just didn't share their experience. Even if no one has, I could be the first one. After all, language is just language. Passing an exam is nothing but mastering certain content. So I boldly gave it a try and scored 6, which was actually a bit beyond my expectations because I misjudged the exam's format and the timing, and I didn't finish writing section. As for speaking, it was the first time I'd ever spoke to a real person in English, and I was so nervous that I could barely speak coherently. Coherently? Yeah, I thought I'd only get 5 at the most. It was fun and interesting experience, but after that, I became much more confident. English isn't the only thing I've self-learned. I once made a video about my poor childhood. To avoid burdening my family, I even self-studied high school courses and took the Gaokao, the university entrance test, the most important exam for Chinese students. And I successfully went to university. During college, I taught myself computer, tablet, painting, and earned pocket money by taking commissions, which helped me land what I called my dream job after graduation. After starting work, I continued to teach myself 3D sculpting software like ZBrush, Blender, Nomad on iPad. However, due to time constraints and shifting interests, I didn't go deeper to create more complete works. But when I have time, I will definitely continue. Anyway, the point is that I've used the same learning methods for all of my self-study endeavors, including English. Constantly improving myself, finding what I'm passionate about, understanding it deeply, and enriching my life. This also increases my resilience in uncertain futures. Even if I lose my current job, I still have more options and possibilities. So today I will take English as an example and share how I persistent and efficiently conduct self-learning. First and foremost, I believe passion and love, along with a firm determination to stick with it, are the most important. We always wanted to see results in a short time, like becoming rich overnight and learning something in a month that usually takes 3 years. But we all know that's impossible. So maintaining continuously passion is very important. Then it's about creating a learning plan that suits your own conditions. Once I decided to learn to communicate fluently with others, I started making my own learning plan. The first important thing is to analyze your actual situation. Many people, once they decided to learn something, will spend money on skills or training courses, or even buy a bunch of online courses, but never actually use them. So that wasn't part of my plan at all. In my case, I have to spend a lot of time at work every day, and my time is severely fragmented. I also have to work overtime for 4 to 5 months each year, so I don't have the time or energy for school or training classes. Moreover, language schools in China are very expensive, and I don't have that much money to spare. Besides, I didn't know how long I could stick with it. If I gave up after a few days, that money would be wasted. So I needed to find a method that fits my rhythm. Specifically, I worked in 3 month circle and abandoned all other plans, especially those requiring a lot of time. I set aside a fixed 2 hours every day for focused study, turning off the computer and the phone. I studied the knowledge in the textbooks bit by bit, just like I was still in school. According to my plan, after the first 3 months, I would have mastered the basic of the language. The rest would be about constantly accumulating vocabulary and reading more while getting used to using the language. Another thing worth mentioning is everyone's educational background, especially how much you already know about what you are learning. In China, English is a required subject in school. As I mentioned earlier, I dropped out of high school and in university I majored in painting, so I didn't study it seriously. After working for so many years, I'd forgotten most of it. So my English level was about that of a junior high school student in China, which is basically, hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you, and you. It wasn't starting from zero, but almost. It was better than nothing. In addition to determination, making a learning plan, and preparing materials, we also needed to analyze what we are learning and why. For example, in Chinese schools, English is treated as a subject with one right answer, and the goal is almost always just to pass exams. But we all know the essence of language is listening, speaking, reading, and writing. It's for expression and communication, to convey knowledge and information. So for me, it was crucial to change my mindset. I couldn't keep learning with an exam-oriented mentality. Building up vocabulary is the most critical part. As I read more and more English articles and mastered more words and expressions, related issues like grammar and accent became much easier to handle. Accent, I mean, understand others speaking with different accent, not my accent. It's hard anyway. Once everything is ready, you embark on a long and tedious learning process, which is extremely easy to give up on. Anyone who has been through it knows this. Especially when life or work throws challenges your way, you will fall into extreme self-doubt, constantly asking yourself what the point is. Everything is just mundane and boring. At first, there may not be any positive feedback that makes me feel like I'm growing. But if I keep going one day, perhaps in 6 months, perhaps a year, I will notice I've made a significant leap forward. For me, this realization came after 3 months, which is why I use 3 months as a milestone. This is a high subjective account of my self-learning journey. In this video, I only discussed how I analyzed my personal situation, created a suitable study plan, endured the monotonous, tedious process year after year, and handled the potential negative emotions that came with it. There's no extraordinary story about making $1 million in a month by learning English, or memorize 10,000 words to surpass native speakers. Everything has been plain, and I believe this is the reality for most people. I'm confident that if we keep moving, we will become different people compared to 2 years ago. Our perspective will broaden, and opportunities and choices will increase. Due to time constraints, I haven't yet discussed how to select resources, obtain study materials in the most cost-effective way, or the final details of my learning process. If there's a chance, I will continue to talk about these topics. I hope this can inspire you, and I wish everyone success in their areas of interest. So this is all for today's video. Thanks for watching. As always, if I made any mistakes that confused you, please correct me and tell me your side of the story. So until next time, stay safe, stay positive, and peace. 再见，拜拜。